Any ideas as early as now that you think we can help we can use to help out the OSTV? Guys?
Pakiulit po ng question.
Yeah. So, uh, did you guys understand the problem statement?
Yes po, yes po.
Okay, good, good. So my question is, as early as now, based on what you understand, um, are there any solutions or are there any ideas as early as now, based on your experience, based on your knowledge, that you think we can try exploring? But don't worry, we do have our set of technologies prepared to discuss to you guys. Pero syempre, um, I'm just curious. The team is just curious if there are any obvious solutions that you think we can use as early as now, even before we start discussing the details.
El, you have an idea, El?
Um, so far nothing.
Not yet.
Okay, that's fine. So let me move on to the third slide, guys. So we thought of three solutions, three technologies to address the problem. Okay, the first is called hybrid cloud. The second one is Watson Content Hub, and the third is Cognos Analytics. Okay, do any of these things ring a bell? Familiar ba sa inyo or first time yung narinig to?
This
I've
was
heard of hybrid.
discussed, no?
Yeah, a little bit.
This was discussed po sa sa crash course.
Great, great. Right. So, I'll try to explain in a nutshell what these are, right? So, when we say hybrid cloud, basically the concept there is, since they're looking for a centralized, automated, and secure server or, well, facility that can also enable them to upload unlimited data, we thought of the cloud as the most obvious solution or proposal for this. What we are proposing is to migrate everything to the cloud, and that cloud will be managed by IBM and DOS-TV. In other words, this will be a hybrid cloud. Okay? So that's the first solution that we propose, move everything from their local server to a hybrid cloud. This cloud is something new that we will be setting up for them, but that's the basic concept. Okay? Now, that means all of the photos and videos that they have on hand and whatever they come up with in the future should now be stored in a cloud environment. That way, we will eliminate a lot of things, especially yung physical storage. Second one would be making it centralized because it will be managed professionally. And third is they will have unlimited storage potential. Okay? Moving on to the second one, it's called Watson Content Hub. It's actually an IBM tool that's embedded in all of the platforms. Okay? So before I move on, we will not be creating a new system, product, or app for DOS-TV. What we are doing is actually enhancing the existing platforms already. The main reason for that is, number one, it's more cost effective for DOST. Let's call them the client right now, okay? So in one way or another, they are our clients, okay? So it will be more cost effective for them, meaning they only have to have their platforms enhanced, modified, developed further by our team, and that makes it easier also for them because they don't have to change a lot of things on their end. They are already familiar with their platforms. They will take less time to train people on their end, but it will be also a win-win situation for IBM because it will take us less time to come up with a prototype for them. Okay? Now, going back to Watson Content Hub, this tool is actually embedded in all the platforms except for the TV platforms. So this tool is actually used to manage the content of all the platforms except the TV platform. And this platform will have several features such as a search capability that's more powerful than what they have right now, which I will be demoing later on. Second is this tool will also be more efficient in terms of cognitive tagging, and that means essentially preempting whatever the user types in the search engine search bar, depending on that user's history, preferences, profile, or library. Okay? And the third is this platform has a broad range of capabilities, but at the very least, we will just focus on the basics of this tool, meaning we can enhance it further because cognitive tagging, content management, and the search capability are just the basics. Marami pang pwedeng i-add dito. Okay? Now, Cognos Analytics is another IBM tool, but this will serve a different purpose. Okay? It's also embedded in all of the tools, again, except for TV, for the TV channels, and it will be working in the background. Okay? The main purpose of this is to run real-time analytics by gathering information in the background. So anytime users come in, they search for topics, they spend a significant number of minutes for each one. All actions performed by a user, as long as they access any of the platforms, will be recorded and analyzed by the tool. Okay? This will also gather information, especially what DOS-TV needs. Like, for example, the demographics of the user, where are the users accessing information from, how popular are some topics, how useful are these topics, and so forth. So DOS-TV can actually customize further their content, and they can actually make it better overall for each individual user. So short of customizing the content, that will be fed mainly by whatever analytics is returned from the user to DOS-TV through Cognos Analytics. Okay? Now, we are tying up another tool to Cognos, which we call Watson Assistant. It's actually a tool that's also embedded now within Cognos Analytics, and the purpose of which is actually to embed a chatbot or a robot that can actually interact with the users, so they can search for data faster. They can also have simple conversations and gather more data on what they need. Hindi lang siya simple search function, is a chat facility as well. So it's sort of an automated help desk that's also embedded in the tool. Okay? Okay. So any questions, guys, before I move on?
Question lang po sa Watson Content Hub.
Yeah.
Since shaky po yung understanding ko, I'd just like to clarify lang na if like there's, let's say po, a video and then you're gonna upload it to the cloud, this Watson content will classify it and tag it, di ba?
Perfect. Yes, that's how it is. Okay. So anytime a photo, an image, or a video gets uploaded, the part of Watson Content Hub's function is to watch it in advance for everyone. if there are several portions of the video that's showing a particular thing, let's say for example, ano ba? Let's say Philippine wildlife. Let's say specifically yung Mindoro Tamaraw. Let's say the video is about Philippine flora and fauna, but the Tamaraw portion was not discussed at all, but only a picture was sent. Watson Content Hub is powerful enough to tag Tamaraw to that video, even if it wasn't discussed at all, even if it's not part of the title, or even if it was shown only for a split second. So basically, tama yung sinabi mo. It will view everything and tag everything before it gets shown to the public. So, yeah, you're correct.
Thank you po.
Aside from that, though, it's also a content manager. But I'll show you guys the website later on so we can have better appreciation. But yeah, you're on point. Tama yun. Anything else?
Wala na po.
Okay. So this is our concept, okay? It's a little bit busy. The slide is a little bit busy, but let me explain it simply, no? Read this graphic from top to bottom, okay? So there are 3 layers, okay? Yung 3 layers natin, those are the technologies, okay? Yung first layer natin, yung hybrid cloud, okay? This is where everything is deposited, nandun lahat. Then data is seeded downwards from the hybrid cloud going to all the platforms, okay? It feeds the TV channels, the social media channels, including their own app, okay? And within those social media apps, we are embedding the technologies. Watson Content Hub, Cognos Analytics, and Watson Assistant. Okay? At the very bottom, we have the end users. Okay? So they will be interacting directly with the Watson tools, and without any effort, everything they punch, everything they perform inside the tool or inside the platforms gets seeded back upwards to the cloud and also to the DOS-TV, so they can actually receive real-time feedback regarding what the users are actually appreciating, what's trending, and so forth. Okay? It's called cloud seed because from top to bottom, the cloud is seeding information downwards, and from bottom up, the users are also seeding their feedback upwards. Does that make sense?
Yes,
Yes po,
po.
yes po.
Okay, good. So let me move on to very quickly the DOS-TV website. Okay, can you guys see my screen? It should say DOS-TV at the top left corner.
Yes po.
Yes, po.
Right. Question, guys. Have you guys tried accessing this website at all? Or are you aware that there is a website like this?
I have
No.
tried accessing it.
Right. Same here. We didn't know likewise. So this is actually a live website already. Okay. This is the actual tool that they are using for different purposes. Okay. So they have a page for archived videos. So it's actually spread evenly, but you can start commenting, guys. Okay, but basically, from our end, we can see that it's not organized as much as we. I mean, it's not organized well enough. I think for the users, for the end users, because there's no categorization, classification of topics. That's for the live stream page, okay? If you go to the episodes page, there are syempre, there are, of course, several clickable videos or episodes here, but you will observe several things also, okay? The episodes are not titled or categorized well, simply enough for, a student or someone from the general public to understand, okay? For instance, let's look at this one in the middle. It just says DOS TV episode 817, okay? So how would I know what this contains? It doesn't describe really what it contains. Even the other ones, like, say, for example, episode 811, Expert Talk, GeoSafer, okay? I suppose it's something related to a concept. Well, your guess actually is as good as mine. All I can do is really guess right now. However, over here on the left-hand side, there is an option actually to go through several pages. Okay? So right now, put yourselves in the shoes of an end user. Imagine I'm the end user, and this is my first time learning about the USTV. Try to imagine, to visualize what my potential problems are browsing through this website. So those are some of the things that we will be addressing little by little in this project, okay? So I mentioned this, they have a lot of content, but if I click one, for example, it returns several thumbnails. Then again, it's something generic, very generic, okay? Now, I will do the search function. Can anyone give me a topic? What's on your mind, guys? Can you give me something to search for? Something not. Sorry, come again.
Earthquakes?
Quake. Did I hear it? That right? Earthquake.
Earthquake po, earthquake.
Okay.
Yeah, earthquake.
Okay. So it actually returns. It returns several thumbnails. So, but there's no way for it to. Well, you can customize it further, I think. Yeah, there is no categorization. If you're looking for earthquake according to the intensity, location, historical figures, or geography. So, I mean, I'm just trying to, guess what potential categories there should be, but I'm just trying to make a point that it's not, user-friendly, at least from my end. Okay? But let's move on to the others, okay? So there are other sections in this page, like, for example, Sinesensya. Sinesensya, well, think of this sort of as a documentary. That's how they designed it. PSAs, these are public service announcements. These are mostly DOS TV commercials. They also have their own version of their quick news. They call it Balitang Rapido or Rapido ST. Okay? They have a section for interviews as well. Okay? And there's global science. Well, there's one. And you see, if you can see, there's we can't even say if there should be more than one entry when you click global science. I mean, Watson Content Hub should be able to filter through the entire 147 pages if there are other global science topics that should be showing up here. And then Sustansya Wrap, I guess it's related to health and well-being. Okay? Now, there are other links below to several other agencies and so forth, but basically, guys, this is the DOS TV website that's live right now. So our goal is to enhance this using the three technologies that we discussed. Okay, so if you guys have access, by the way, do you guys have access already to the box? Were you able to, or were you given access to this? Let me show you guys. Here's how it looks like. Andrea or Andre should have added you. I don't think so. This was 15 the other day. So I will follow up our focal for this, but expect to see your names here soon. Expect to receive an email where you should be able to see all related materials regarding this project. Okay, including the link to this website. Okay, now moving on to the cloud technology. This is the website, and that's the URL up there. So I would advise you guys to start visiting these websites. I'm sure I'll be showing you guys 3 websites all in all. This is the IBM Cloud website. So we don't actually have time to go through each of one to the very last detail, but this is a very complete website. I would advise you guys to please work offline and try to conceptualize an approach on how we will be doing the migration of their files from their server to cloud. Okay? But start taking down notes as well during your own meetings at school, because if you need clarifications and we can't answer those, we will be sending those questions to DOSTV. Okay? Is that fair enough?
Yes, po.
Right. So,
Alex,
yes.
I have a question, sorry. Are we able to share with them the links to the tools that you shared earlier? Are they available to the public?
Yes, so that's a good
Okay.
question. All of these are publicly accessible, guys. You don't need approvals. You don't need special access. And the links are also in. I will email you the links because in case your access to the box gets delayed. But I will send out the links to everyone in this call.
Ayun, sige. Kasi if they have access to it, then they can also read up and learn at least on a high level or conceptually what's the capability and features of the tools, and to help them with building the prototype, right? And if they have other questions, like maybe more technical questions, then we can reach out to our SMEs. But at least yung information on those sites, that can build their foundational knowledge on the tools and their capability. Okay, yun
Okay.
lang naman.
Yeah, thanks, I. So, basically, guys, access this site from anywhere. If there are any questions at all, email us. Then we will try to respond the soonest. And we will actually reach out to either DOST, or if your questions are on the tools, we will actually speak to our own IBM experts, so we can relay them to you ASAP. Okay? So this is for cloud, but the concept is the same. If you need the details, please visit this site. Okay? Now, the next one is called Watson Content Hub. My first advice is to access this site and download the free trial version. Okay? So you can actually, instead of just reading through its features and how it is used, how it should be launched, it's better actually to just download the free trial so you guys can have a hands-on experience on how to work it out. Okay? Again, this is publicly accessible and at no charge to you guys. So if there are follow-up questions on its features and other technical clarifications, shoot us an email. I will help answer those. Okay. Now this is Cognos Analytics. Cognos Analytics already runs on IBM Cloud, but it's the same definition actually, as I described earlier. So there is again a free trial. This is also publicly accessible. I would advise you guys to please go through the website, download the free trial, and start collaborating between yourselves. So by next week, when we have the same call by Thursday, probably we can discuss your progress, and we can also, move on to the next stage of the development. Okay. By the way, if I may ask, have you guys been briefed on what's expected before you guys make your pitch, or do you guys have questions on that? Because I did save that for last. We will have a short discussion on the criteria for this competition.
I don't think we were told in depth what is expected of us when it comes to the pitch. Because the
Right.
last time
That's
we
fine.
just had like a brief of cloud.
Right. Sure. Okay. So don't worry. I do have. I did save a few minutes for that. So thanks for letting me know. Now again, going back to Cognos. Don't worry. I'll send you the link. Please download the trial version, and please discuss amongst yourselves, and let us know if there are questions. Okay. This is Watson Assistant. So it's actually bigger than just a chatbot, but basically, in terms of our project, that's the main purpose on why we are using Watson Assistant. Okay? But again, I would advise everyone on this call to please visit the website. There is again another free version available for you guys, publicly accessible, and focus perhaps on its main purpose, which is really to establish a chatbot between the user and the platforms. But there are other features you can explore if you think these are worth adding to our solution. By all means, let's do that. Okay. Now, are there any questions before I move on to the criteria so I can brief everyone on what's expected?
By next week, where are we expected to learn like a bit of these applications?
Right. So what's expected is after each call, you do a self-study first. But you have to work. Kasi ganito yun, we will only be having weekly calls. Okay? But if you need more frequent calls, actually, we will have to align before we end today's call. Okay? But in between days where we do not have calls, the expectation is for you guys to start designing or coming up with a simple prototype, a very high level and simple prototype that you guys can present by November 23rd to a panel of judges. Okay? We are not expected to come up with 100% fully functioning solution for DOS-TV. We just need to show something that you can use to demonstrate during your pitch. It's not a finished product. Okay? Think of it as a beta version, even low fidelity developer version lang yung kailangan. But we will be consulting with our own experts and have them join our calls next week or next week and the week afterwards and so forth. So you can also interact with our own experts. Okay, so the eight of us from IBM, our main purpose was to design the concept and to sell the concept to DOSTV. Okay, so like you, we do not have technical background, unlike you guys. What we have is the ability to design concepts and align it with what the client wants. Basically, cross-selling solutions to the client. Okay? Your part would be to partner with us and help us develop the technical side of the project or the design. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
Yes po, yes po.
Okay. So don't worry, guys. We will again. I said this before. We will be partnering with you. Okay. The calls are. We will have probably fewer calls in between because we really don't get to meet each other daily. But we can always interact through text messages, through calls, through emails, in between calls. Okay? So let us know if there is any help you need at all, any help that you need at all, so we can immediately answer your concerns or have you talk to one of our experts. Okay?
I have a
Now,
question.
yeah, go ahead.
Are we expected to have at least an idea of a prototype by Thursday next week? I mean.
Yeah, yeah. Actually, I'll discuss that today. I think if you guys can stay after 6 p.m., I'll be happy to discuss what the prototype is.
Yeah, I
Okay.
believe we can.
Yeah,
Sorry?
Alex, sorry. Uh, sorry. I think they said they can stay after 6 p.m.
I see. Right, right.
Siguro
I,
since we only have 7 minutes left in our time for today, at least for the scheduled call. So just for us to align or be on the same page on what the expectations are for this competition, because I don't know if all of you were able to attend the meeting last Saturday, and I don't know also what level of information was shared, whether these expectations were discussed. But from our end, based on what was shared with us with this competition. So basically, as Alex mentioned already, the IBM team came up with the concept of a solution what we based on technologies that we know and our own I guess from experience of how we can potentially solve the DOST problem. Now, what is expected from you guys, from the team, is once we share our concept, you are going to basically build the prototype. So from a concept, you would be creating a product, or from in design thinking terms, we call it an MVP, minimum viable product, which is basically like a working solution already. I guess you're familiar with the concept of a prototype, right? So that you can demonstrate um, to the judges how the concept or how the solution would actually work. Now, this is not something that we IBM would be building for you. So that's why Alex mentioned that it's a partnership, because you have more of the probably the technical skills, and what we will be providing would be more of mentoring you on and guiding you as you build the prototype, and then later on, because you will be the ones pitching or selling the idea or selling the prototype to the judges, we will also be providing you with or we will be helping you with your sales pitch or with your presentation, either the on the communication aspect or on the presentation aspect or whatever. So that's where we come in. But you can, when you're building your prototype, when you're putting your presentation together, you can meet in your own time. So during the 3 week period that we're provided, feel free to meet at school or kung saan man, I don't know, so that you can work together on creating your prototype and your presentation. And then during our weekly touch points, so that's our Thursday meeting and also the Saturday meeting that we're actually allotted by the project team, we can see what you've created up to that point. So those will be our regular touch points with you. So I think I know Alex has already sort of laid out a schedule. Maybe we can look at that later, Alex, and then we can maybe plot what would be the expected output or topic or focus of discussion during those meetings, so that once we meet, so for example on next Thursday, what's the expectation by that time? Are they supposed to have built a prototype already, or maybe just a design, so something like that, so that we know when we come into the meetings we're all prepared and we can really utilize the time or make productive use of the time, be more efficient with our meetings, so that we're able to also accomplish our goals for each week, because we only have like a few weeks to build a prototype and to fine tune your presentation. So yun lang. So I guess I just wanted to make sure that everyone is clear on what the expectations are from each group. Any questions?
Wala pa.
Yeah, thanks, I. Um,
Okay.
guys, any comments or questions on that? Okay, so
Ay, question po.
yeah,
May may mobile application po ba itong DOS TV?
yes, yes. Just download the OSTV. Let's look for it on Android and iOS.
Okay po.
Yep. So very quickly, you guys will undergo two more phases. Okay. So the first is currently we are in the build phase. We are currently in the build phase. So this is what's expected. This is the criteria. Social impact would be 30%, innovation at 25%, solution fit at 10%, user experience at 25%, and pitch at 10%. Okay. This same information I will be emailing to you guys, so you can discuss within yourselves. But really, the focus really would be how novel, how useful will the solution be? How will it really address the pain point of the OSTV? Okay. Second to that, how new is the concept of the solution? How innovative is it? And will it really address the user experience as well? The solution fit and pitch are at 10% each. In other words, in terms of the pitch especially, how you guys deliver or explain your prototype to the panel of judges from the OSTV and from IBM will also bear around 10%. So, importante rin yun. Okay? So, just touching very quickly on prototype, we can discuss that later on. I can send you guys an email, but basically, I would advise you to start exploring the tools as early as now and try to do some basic research on what type of prototype we can come up with. It could be a simple presentation, PowerPoint presentation. It could be a beta version of the technologies we are preparing. It could be something else. Okay. So it's already 6 p.m. Before we go, I was actually proposing on having another call by Thursday next week. But let me know, do you guys need us to set up a call earlier than Thursday next week?
Maybe Alex, can you show the schedule that you prepared just so we can see how many meetings we have and if that would be enough?
Okay, so here it is, guys. It is something that we uh, prepared, but oh, it's in. Yeah, sorry about that. So, and are you guys able to decide right now if we can keep this schedule, or do you propose a more frequent call between ourselves?
Lang po, i-check ko lang po yung schedule namin. Baka
Okay, sige.
we don't want it to conflict with our pre-fi, so we're just making sure na
Mm.
we're available
Yeah, sure, sure.
on all
Of course,
these
of
pa.
course. Yeah, that's fine. So
Eh, the highlighted ones, Alex, those are the yung required by the project team, no?
right,
Like the
right.
first one was the
So
meet and greet last Saturday. Okay, okay.
right, right. So the only ones we can add in between are weekdays, unless you guys would like to meet on Saturday next week or this Saturday. But it's up to you. Okay. So I think Ellie has my email address because I sent her the invite. If you can kindly share my email address to the rest of the team, Ellie, and so I can send everyone the links for all the tools. The presentation I discussed earlier, and including this table of schedule.
Concern lang, Sir Alex,
Yeah.
itong 5 to 6 p.m., hindi po kami available niyan dahil our classes end at 6 every Thursday.
I see. That's okay.
Every
So
Thursday
I
and
would,
Tuesday.
yeah. So ang suggestion ko na lang, please respond to my email and
Okay po.
send us your preferred dates so we can also check from our end.
Sige po, sige po.
What we cannot change are the Saturday sessions. We can change the time but not the Saturday dates.
Alright po. Sige, no problem.
So yun yung required sa lahat ng competitor.
Mhm.
Okay?
Yes po, yes
So
po.
yeah, I think that's it. Thank you guys for your time today. I'll be waiting for your email and talk to you guys soon.
Yes po. Thank you po.
Thank you, sir.
Bye guys.
Thanks everyone. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Tama, tama.